Welcome back into NFL in a Flash here on Sports Radio, WNML.com. With Joel Silverberg, I am Eric Kane, and a wild weekend. Week 4 of the NFL season is over, and the Titans, 3-1, a win, an overtime win, exciting win over the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of gutsy calls in that game, but what a showing for Marcus Mariota. And if you're a Tennessee Titans fan, quarter of the way through the season, you got to feel good this morning.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody thought that Tennessee was going to be 3-1 after the month of September. 3 straight wins, 3 really good wins, and you got the 2 division games in that month too. You went on the road, won at Jacksonville, you won a tight game at home against Houston, and then you get a huge win against Philadelphia that the fans were just really fired up for. A lot of Eagles fans traveled for that game too. So I think it's a good statement win for Tennessee to show that they're going to be gritty and stick around for a while. But a really good performance from the offense as well after not having a good couple of weeks against Houston and Jacksonville.
Tennessee takes the lead in the fourth quarter. Then, of course, Jake Elliott ties it with 20 seconds left in the fourth, sending it to overtime. Philadelphia goes down, kicks a field goal. Tennessee gets the football. They drive down the field. They converted fourth down 3 separate times, one of which a timeout was called. The field goal unit was on the field to kick the game-tying field goal yet again. Vrabel sends them back, puts the offense back out there, and they convert. So Mike Vrabel has a lot of confidence in this offense and Marcus Mariota, and it worked out for the Titans. But when you look at the Colts, not so much. So a couple of first-year head coaches, one goes one way, one goes the other. What do you think about the confidence level of these 2 coaches so far?
Well, I think it's the coaches trying to show their teams, hey, I believe in you guys. I think with Frank Reich at Indianapolis, you got the ball on your own side of the 50. It's late. Essentially a tie with the position that the Colts are in, a tie does not really do a whole lot for you. And I think with Mike Vrabel is he felt that he understands that he had an opportunity to win the game, and the way that Tennessee has played the first month of the season, all 4 one-score games, that there aren't a whole lot of guaranteed wins. And so I think when you have 4th and 2, when you can take a 50-yard field goal, which even if you make it, you're not getting the ball back. Philadelphia was going to make sure that they played the clock so that you could not get the football back, especially since Tennessee didn't have any timeouts at that point. So you bring the field goal unit off and you throw the offense back out on the field for 4th and 2. I think it's the right play because I do think that you're willing to take the loss in that sense, because for a lot of teams in that situation, you feel like a tie is a loss anyway. So you might as well go out and try to get the win.
Tennessee 3-1 so far through 4 weeks of the season. And Joel, are you for the boys?
Yeah, I don't even understand where this movement started. Like, I don't. The Titans have done so many odd things in the past year. They had the real life Fortnite tournament earlier with all the play with the foam swords and everything.
They have fun. They have fun.
Yeah, it's been a really unique group of guys that they've come together as a team, and I think that's what you like about this unit, that even despite after what happened with Rashard Matthews, look at the plays that you got. You had a lot of drop passes, but look at the plays you got from your wide receivers. You got big catches from Corey Davis. You got a touchdown catch from Tajay Sharp. You had shifty work in the open field by Tywan Taylor. And then even after the drop by Jennings, the long drop by Jennings, you still were able to make plays down the stretch. So this group, I think, really showed a lot of heart coming off the news after what Rashard Matthews had done earlier in the week by asking for his release.
A quarter of the way through the NFL season, and Joel, a subject we talked about on the first quarter this morning actually was who would be your NFL MVP so far in the season. I said Alvin Kamara, the VFL. He had another 3 touchdowns on Sunday. He's leading the NFL in all-purpose yards so far, about 60 yards ahead of Zeke Elliott, who's in second. But, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff, there's so many that qualify so far. But Alvin Kamara's mine. Who is your MVP so far through the season?
Well, I think on offense it is Alvin Kamara, because on a day where Drew Brees was not at his best, Alvin Kamara was, and he went off and he had some big plays for New Orleans against a Giants team that was kind of in desperation mode after starting 1-2. I would also throw Patrick Mahomes in there because they're putting up a lot of points and their defense has not played particularly well throughout the first month of the season. On defense, it would be Khalil Mack. What he's done for Chicago, you're talking about a team that was so horrible last year, drafted Mitch Trubisky controversially after trading up from the 3 spot to the 2 spot to get him. That team's 3-1, and they should be 4-0. They had a 20-point lead in their season opener that they blew, and now they're 3-1 after just pummeling what for the first 3 weeks looked like a pretty good Tampa team. So, yeah, I would say Khalil Mack on defense without a doubt. I would give a slight edge to Kamara over Patrick Mahomes. What Mahomes is doing is incredible, but Kamara was able to lift his entire offense on a day where their superstar quarterback just didn't have his best day.
Week 4's in the books, and playmakers all around. An exciting weekend of football. 6 games, Joel, came down to one possession. 6 games had the winning team scoring on their last possession on Sunday. So that was a lot of fun to watch for sure. You look at the playmaker of the weekend. I'm going to start. It was actually Thursday. Jared Goff, mentioned him a moment ago. 5 touchdowns, nearly 500 yards passing in a single game. And in a game on Thursday Night Football with the Vikings and the Rams, that two pretty good defenses, it was an offensive showcase. I mean, it was a shootout. So Jared Goff, he gets my Playmaker of the Week award. What about you?
I would probably have to go with Mitch Trubisky, just coming out and doing what he did to Tampa's defense, throwing 6 touchdown passes. The Bears haven't had a spark like that on offense in a long time, and especially since Jordan Howard has not been particularly great for them at the running back spot, so I think it was big for him to do that. And shout out to Raiders tight end Jared Cook. He had to hit some huge plays for them, overcoming a huge deficit in the second half in their game against the Browns. The Raiders finally get a win. It just seemed like there were big performances all across the board. So if you're playing fantasy football this past weekend, chances are you had some guys that put you in an opportunity to win, but you were probably in some high-scoring affairs. So I would go with Trubisky, but I think some of these tight ends that don't get a lot of love, a guy like Jared Cook that was so huge for Oakland, definitely deserves a shout-out.
Week 4 in the books, Week 5 on the horizon. This has been NFL in a Flash. He's Joel Silverberg. I'm Eric Kane. We'll see you next week.